What's up, everybody? Tony here from Beastmode Camping. Join me today as I explore Caprock Canyon, eat some quail eggs, get lost on a trail, and do some night photography. Let's go. Before we get to the park, I gotta show you something I found on the way up. Texas is home to some interesting roadside attractions. You've got things like Cadillac Ranch, and on this trip I discovered a new one. This one's called Bicycle Fence. No explanation, no sign, just dozens of bikes permanently retired. And I have questions. I'm just gonna assume that every kid in a 50-mile radius voluntarily upgraded to scooters or something. Now what's really funny is if you look close, each fence post has an upside-down boot on top of it. Okay, enough of that. Back to our regularly scheduled programming. Today we're camping at Caprock Canyon State Park. Out here in the Texas Panhandle, the land doesn't roll, it breaks. Red rock cliffs rise out of nowhere, mesas stretch towards the horizon, and the sky feels twice as big as it does anywhere else in Texas. The place looks untouched, but it tells a story a million years in the making. But Caprock isn't just about geology, it's about survival. Because roaming these plains is something you don't expect to see in Texas anymore. Bison. And not just any bison. The herd here at Caprock Canyon is actually the official Texas state bison herd, descendants of animals that once roamed the southern plains by the millions. The herd descends from calves rescued by Charles and Marianne Goodnight in 1878, and the herd was eventually donated to the state of Texas, and today they roam freely right here in the canyon. But if you're gonna come out, just make sure you give them enough space. Alright gang, so I'm in Caprock Canyon. This is a Texas State Park. I'm at Site 46. Let's take a look and see what it's got. I was thinking I was going to be able to scale that, but now that I'm here, I don't think I've got a chance. Not a bad little spot, however, if there were other people, man. That's a little closer than I'd like, but what can you do? Let's see the rest of it. So about the only thing we've got a pit right here. There's no burn ban that I know of, so we should be all right. I want to see how far back this goes. I'm just gonna walk back here just a little bit to see what all we've got back here. There are a lot of bison running around, and you don't want to get within 50 yards of them. But we do have a little trail I'm riding on right now. Ow, what the... Okay, I definitely need to watch where I'm going because I already hit one of these cactuses and those don't feel great. It looks like this trail is going to go all the way back. We'll investigate that here in a little bit and see how far we can go up there. Dana told me not to do anything stupid, so I'm not going to try to climb it, but man, that thing is big. But for now, I just got here, so I am going to go grab the stuff from the truck and go ahead and start setting up camp. Ow, the same cactus got me again. Look how deep that thing went. Ow, it drew blood. Jesus. Okay, keep an eye on the road. Look at the size of these things. They're literally everywhere. All right, noted. But if you're familiar with Texas, you know that it's not every day that we get sights like that. So definitely cool being in the middle of a canyon. And for this trip, I decided to bring the Maya because I haven't used it in a while. And I figured, man, let's get camp set up quick and then maybe go on a hike or something. I did want something quick this time instead of having to take an extra 15 minutes to set something up. Hoo-wee. And I forgot how quick these things set up. Obviously, I'm gonna need to put something down because I don't think I'm gonna be able to drill anything in here, but that shouldn't be a problem. I'm just gonna put a couple things on the inside and it'll be fine. And it is warmer, at least right now, so I'm gonna roll up the windows, get some good airflow through here. All right, I got my clothes in case it gets a little too cold.
Now I just need to get my bedding set up and we're good to go. I still haven't set that up. That'll literally take me like 2 minutes, but I do want to talk about the sleeping pad that I'm using tonight. Man, it's definitely not for hiking, but I've got to say it's the most comfortable sleeping pad I've ever had. It's that Elegear one. I'll show it to you guys here in a minute, but this thing might be my new best friend. Check this out. Just in case it's super nice tonight, I might choose to sleep under the stars like so. So now I will probably take a little hike for a little bit. There's some stuff up over there that I want to see, and then it'll be time to light the fire. But I got some beast burn, that's gonna be easy. I'm not gonna go too far from camp, at least not tonight, but I do want to see what's up over there, follow the trail a little bit. Let's check it out. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like there's any way up there. I mean, I know that doesn't look all that big, but let me show you. This is actually pretty steep right here. And then there's a big lip right there I've got to jump up. So I think this is probably the end of it for me. We'll turn around and probably gonna look for a regular trail tomorrow, because this is kind of just something I just kind of jumped on. We'll see if there's one of the hikes we can do tomorrow. All right, let's head on back down for now. And I'm starting to get a bit hungry, so let's go down and hit some food up. Now, I know I came during the week, but I'm glad that there's not a lot of people out here. This is pretty quiet. All right, so for the menu tonight, we've got meatballs and marinara sauce. Told you guys I'm gonna start bringing these MREs, and that's what I'm doing. Let's give a taste of these. All right, so the meatballs and marinara, hot pocket, cherry blueberry cobbler. Oh, I bet that is just delicious. Chocolate chip cookie. Man, this is like diabetes. Matches, moist towelette, peanut butter. What is this? Italian breadsticks, some orange drink, a beef stick. Huh. All right, then we've got the heating element and a spoon, but I've got my magware, and I love using my magware. So let's go ahead and get this. Oh, it wants me to heat up both the cobbler and the meatballs in here. Do not overfill, so you just fill it to that line right there. Set it up on a rock or something. Place it in the bag. Give a tear at the top line. Put the MREs in. Here's the cherry blueberry cobbler. You know what? I'm not even gonna try to fit them both inside. I'm just gonna set the other one right on the outside. Fill this up with a little bit of water. Place it in the hot pocket, and that's what it looks like. We'll give this about 10-15 minutes. This thing's gonna be piping hot and ready to eat. And while we do that, I've got some orange, basically like tang or something, and this stuff generally is pretty delicious, so I'm gonna go ahead and put some of this to replenish my energies. And this does have a little Ziploc. Last time I did this, there was a ton of powder still at the bottom, so I'm really gonna give it a good shake. And then instead of drinking it straight from this, I like to put it back in my bottle, so these things are weird to drink out of. I'm gonna bring one of these on the trail with me tomorrow too, just in case, because I don't know how many miles it is, but super salty. Oh, it's getting there. Warming up. And with these, generally you have to move around the water in here to, like, because because the water is really what's heating up and the elements staying put in place. So a lot of times you end up having to move the water around. Generally, I don't eat my dessert before the main course, but I am pretty hungry. So we're gonna check out this chocolate chip cookie and see what this is all about. Pretty dry. It just kind of falls off. Very dry, but the chocolate is super moist. If I would have had some milk, this would have been like, I mean, obviously like dunking your cookies in milk, but like the breakfast cereal. It's good though. All right, and unfortunately I had to bring in my own wood because state parks and places like this, they don't like you upsetting the terrain and cutting your own wood down and stuff. Now the one thing I am gonna do, there's a ton of this just dried grass laying around, so I am gonna use this to help start my fire. I don't think anybody's gonna mind that. I'm not cutting down anything. I just grabbed this right off the floor. As you can see, it's literally everywhere. And we're gonna mix that with just a little bit of beast burn. Those of you that have been on the channel for a while, you guys know all about this stuff. Look at that, ooey gooey. Probably just about that much. You could set it in there and not worry about it, but I'm just gonna go a little light. Oof. Boom. Now I'm not even gonna pretend most of that was beast burn. A lot of that was the grass. All right, now that we've got the fire going, a little bit of warmth and ambiance, my food's feeling a little bit warmer, I think it's time to eat. All right, it feels substantially warm. Let's check it out. This is my first time having the meatballs and marinara. And we're gonna do the Italian breadsticks. Super dense. Tastes like, what is that tastes like? Why are my utensils dirty? Gross. That tastes like SpaghettiOs. Now I do have some dish soap in the back of the truck as part of my just camping kit that I bring. So I'm probably gonna have to get after this afterwards, but I'm hungry right now, so I'm just gonna eat off this. I mean, it's not too dirty, and I'm sure the last person that ate off it was me. So let's see what I can do here. Good as new. Not bad. I'd give it like a 4 out of 10, maybe I guess it depends on how much you like SpaghettiOs. Now the flavor is really SpaghettiOs-ish, but there's no spaghetti, it's just the meatballs. And I'm pretty sure SpaghettiOs has some that does have meatballs. I've been eating keto all week, or actually last like 3 weeks, so I'm kind of cheating right now. But this stuff is phenomenal. Oh, I love you, carbs, how I've missed you. And this bread, it's not great, but it's not horrible. I mean, it's super dense. So what I have planned for tonight, obviously I'm gonna eat this, but that mountain that we've got right back here, I wanna do some light painting. So I brought one of my good cameras and I'm gonna set it up on the tripod, a long exposure. Doesn't look like we have a cloud in the sky right now. Get some stars in the background and hopefully I can hit it with enough light to where it lights up the mountain. So we'll see how that turns out. Even if it turns out bad, I'll let you guys be the judge. But that's what I've got planned for tonight. And then crash out tomorrow. Like I said, we'll hike up that thing. Hopefully I can find a mine. I'd like to go in there. I'm supposed to not do anything stupid. I'll bring plenty of water, probably 1 MRE. That should be good to go. I have a bunch of water. What can happen? Actually, I want to take that back. I'd say the meatballs and marinara is probably a good 6 or 7. Let's go ahead and check out the cherry blueberry cobbler. Ooh, look at that. Crust in there. I really taste the cherries. I don't understand how they make this stuff and it can last, I mean, that much like liquid and just not dry stuff. How does it last for 5 years or more? I get it if it's freeze dried, but, and this doesn't, I mean, it doesn't taste overly salted. If you know, let us know. Man, that's going down quick. All right, that does it for this. The only 2 things that I've got left, I'm not gonna eat them right now. I've got a beef stick and some peanut butter. So I'm gonna save both those. Got a little bit of cookie left, I'm gonna eat that right now. But that was good. All right, gang, now I wanna show you something. I wanna show you why this has quickly become my favorite sleeping pad. Now this is not for hiking. This thing is a tank. I mean, it feels like 5 to 10 pounds. Elegear did something right here. This thing is firm. It feels like you can blow it up. It stays blown up. And in most of all my other sleeping pads, they're all like hiking sleeping pads. So like if you roll over, your elbow will touch the ground through the pad. It doesn't happen on this one. This one has some kind of gel, like this it feels like a silicone type surface here, and it is thick. I mean, look how thick that is. But this thing is awesome. Can't say enough about it. So they're not paying me to say anything like that. We are going to test it out tonight. It should dip into, I mean, nothing super cold, but maybe like the high 30s, low 40s. It's not really even like testing it out, but I'll let you guys know if, you know, it has any cold spots or anything. I was told it is a true 4-season sleeping pad. So we'll give it a whirl and I'll let you know. Look at that. So I'm laying on it. I love this thing. And it's wide enough for me too, so my shoulders aren't dropping off. It's definitely tight, but it's better than the hiking pads that I've got. So for that, I love it. All right, gang, so what we're doing is I've got the red light on me because I don't want my eyes blown out as I'm looking up here at the stars. However, it is super bright. I'm trying to get enough light so you guys can see what's going on here. I've got the camera set up right over here. So let's see what a couple of these look like. I'm going to shut off the red lamp, see how this one comes out. All right, that one came out pretty cool. Let me see what happens if I hit it with just a little bit of light on this one. Just around the edges here, a little up top, and then we'll see how this comes out. Take a look through here. It's got a lot of the stars in the background. But this time what I've done is kind of did the opposite direction. We're facing that big giant mountain that we had in the background here. And so I want to see if I can get a nice shot of this. As good as we're gonna get it. I'll shut this off for just a second while this takes. All right, so that last one was pretty cool. Let's check it out. We got red on the ground because I had this light on. So let me do the exact same shot. I'm gonna shut off this light this time and watch how different it is. I'm gonna do one more with this. I'm gonna paint that background, see if I can pull out any of the colors in the mountain here. I probably held it a little bit too long in one spot. Now let me try it with a laser, see what happens here. All I did there was wrote Tony. I'm not even sure if you guys can see this. Oh, I think I got it. That's pretty funny. All right, I went ahead and grabbed a small lantern just so you guys can see me, so it's not pitch black out here. So with this lens, what I should be able to do is get much more of the sky as well as the earth because it's a wide angle lens and it's just gonna capture all sorts of stuff. Let's see what it looks like. Now, I don't want to bore you with these, so I am just going to speed this up a little bit because I was out here for quite a while, but here are some of the highlights. All right, gang, well, that was enough fun for one night. Hopefully we got a couple good shots. I'm gonna have to wait until I get back to the house so I can take a look. But anyways, it's getting a little late, so I think it's about time to take a nap because we got a bit of a hike tomorrow. You guys hear that? It's definitely werewolves. I'm gonna stay in here and keep a low profile and put the boogie on. This wind will not stop. No, it wants to stop. Well, that was crazy, but I guess it's time to get up and go hunting for some food anyways. Well, that was wild. I probably should have put down some of the guy lines, at least on this side, but as you can see, there's not a lot of stuff to attach it to. I'm gonna grab a rock, set it on this side, and just kind of wrap the line under it, so hopefully that'll give this side at least a little bit of stability. And then over on that side, I do have some trees I can put it on, so we'll go ahead and do that now. That should help out at least a little bit. What I did was I put a bigger rock on the ground and then just kind of wedged a smaller rock on top of it, just so it doesn't pull it through. I'll put out a couple more guy lines on the other side, and maybe tonight I'll get a better night's sleep. That looks a bit more stable. So the sun's coming up just behind me. Hopefully this wind will die down. Let me see if I can find some eggs and sausage this morning, and then we'll get some breakfast done and get out of here. So this is only going to take about 90 seconds to start boiling. So I absolutely stand by what I said with the Elegear sleeping pad. Man, that thing is ridiculous. I can absolutely say now. So it didn't get super cold last night. Probably got about 40 degrees, maybe 38. But I might as well have been sleeping at home on my mattress. That thing is just ridiculously comfortable. Here comes the sun peeking through the mountains there. So now I'm just gonna have a little cup of coffee and enjoy my morning. All right, gang, so there's camp. And right here is a big old giant bison duker. Look at the size of that compared to my foot. There's another one, and another one. That's where I'm sleeping. Uh-oh. What are those? Now's the question. I've got those right there, and I'm hungry. What should we do? Gimme. I swear, every time I go out to film, it is just so windy. So I just gotta hope the audio comes out, because that sucks for you guys. Normally I get the green bottles. The blue one's fine as well. This one I just had for my torches. So I just brought this one instead. All right, now I don't know if these are snake eggs, quail eggs, or what. I don't even know if we're supposed to eat them, but we're gonna try them out. And Dana, don't get mad at me. These look like little dinosaur eggs or something, but I'm sure I'll be fine. I'm not gonna lie, normally I don't get nervous about a whole lot of stuff, but being this windy and this thing's gonna be super hot, just I'll just keep this glove around in case I need to grab it, but I'm hoping the wind doesn't just pick it up and blow it off. Two's probably enough, huh? Maybe we'll go with 3. Those are small eggs. And we don't know if I'm gonna like them or not. Let's see what happens with these little bad boys. Now I did just season this pan, and it kind of stinks because I don't have any butter or anything to kind of oil the pan down. But hopefully just by seasoning it is gonna make the eggs not stick. Little bitty egg. Now the shell on these feels much more robust than a regular chicken egg. Like I'm actually almost rubbery. Maybe it's because of the environment or something, and nature just knows that be in jeopardy a lot more than our eggs. But these, just to break them open, was like I said, almost rubbery. Look at that. Like I can squeeze it and stuff. The shell's broken now, but nothing's coming out. All right. There's about 5 little bitty dudes. But having this setup is great. So before, I mean, when you're camping, it's not that bad to bring a lot of gear. You got your truck or your car or whatever, you pull it up, and it's not horrible. But being able to size down and actually put stuff in my garage and have it all fit is much better. So I love this new Ogre camp stove, and think it's gonna stick around for a little bit. Just watch out when you're cooking on these things. It's a lot different than cooking over an open fire. These things just get stupid hot. What I also could have done was went ahead and cooked the sausage in the skillet, and then used the grease to cook the eggs as well. However, it looks like seasoning the pan worked out in my favor, and I'm not gonna have to do that. I like to be able to eat all my food at the same time while it's all warm. In fact, I'm gonna have to turn the eggs down a little bit because they're gonna cook before the sausage. I'll probably put them on there a little bit too early. I'm not even gonna dirty up any more dishes. I'm just gonna go ahead and eat it right out of the pan here. Now, let's see what these little raptor eggs taste like. Imagine that. Tastes just like chicken eggs. I mean, exactly. Now I'm guessing, just based on this, that an ostrich egg probably tastes like a chicken egg too. I just had 5 of those. It's probably about the same as 2 eggs, 2 chicken eggs. That was literally only 3 bites. Whoa, easy. Pipe down there. My tent's just getting leveled over there. The rock's holding it down, but unfortunately it's not able to keep that side of the tent up. This thing's got a Teflon coating because nothing's sticking to it. Some oil on my paper towel, and then I can use this to start a fire later. All right, gang, I'm gonna finish this up, kind of clean the place up a little bit, and then let's get hiking. And the campsite I'm staying at does have restrooms, so I'm gonna follow this path right here to see where we end up. Not super primitive. I mean, it does have a sidewalk here. Not bad. Immediately got hit in the face with a fly. Okay. And it does have a lock on the door. I am gonna try to see if I can make it up that beast, and we'll see how it goes. Now that big rock up there, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get up there, but Dana told me not to do anything stupid, and to be honest, a lot of this is looking like I just don't want to get too lost, because that's a big hill and I'm not gonna be able to climb that. Anyways, that white sparkly stuff is gypsum. Basically crystallized once the water evaporated and turned into a mineral deposit. It's basically like calcium sulfate. Now I'm gonna keep going for a little bit. I'm gonna go that way in hopes I find a trail, because I don't know if what I'm standing on is a trail or just kind of where the water flows when it rains. And I was on a trail until it turned into this stuff. The good thing is I am seeing a bunch of footprints. And I turned around because here's my dilemma. I came from up there, and there's a trail that way, and that way. So, since I came from this way, I'm gonna go straight and see what happens. Hopefully, it takes me somewhere up there, but I didn't like where this path was going.
This is one of those moments you don't plan for when you come out here. No checklist, no destination. Just putting one foot in front of the other until the noise fades away. Out here, the canyon doesn't care who you are, what you do, or how busy your life feels back home. It just keeps existing. And for a little while, you get to exist inside it.
Shame on you, Mike and Bose. You know what you did. I'm out here walking by myself. Shame. Shame. Alright, I was hoping I'd get some elevation by now, but if you look, so that over there is about where I'm camping. And that is kind of like where I was hoping to get and go up. But now, as you can see, I'm miles away from that. Where I was camping. And if you look around, so I've got domes there, another dome, and a castle-like structure right there. I don't know if I need to keep going or turn around, because I don't see, I mean, there's the trail down there, and it's fairly, I mean, it's pretty safe, it's wide, it looks really manicured. I just don't know at what point it's going to start going up, because I think where I am camped over there, I think that's like 5 miles, maybe 3. But man, I was hoping to get some more elevation by now. I'll give it a little bit more, and hopefully we start seeing some elevation. If not, I'm going to turn around. You see the white part, like right up here, and then up here. So that's the Ogalla Formation. So during the Tertiary period, forces deep below the earth raised the Rocky Mountains up. It sent gravel and sand eastward along the stream beds, spreading out over hundreds of miles. So this white layer is known as caprock. And my guess is that's why this place is called Caprock Canyons. All right, I'm guessing I've made some progress because that elevation up there doesn't look near as high. All right, so now I'm at an impasse. Do I take off my shoes and get in that? Do I cross straight through with my shoes on? I'm not doing that. I didn't bring any water shoes. I totally wasn't expecting this. Looks like that's it for me. It's time to turn around. That wall doesn't look as big anymore. Man, I really wanted to get up and over that. At least next time I'll know to bring some water shoes or something where I can cross crap like this. I didn't know there was going to be anything like that. So, all right, turning around. One thing I'll say about these trails here at Caprock Canyon is they're really manicured. So like, you look down here, I think somebody came out here with a weed eater. Just whack those weeds. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's what it looks like. And this trail is like super nice. It's wider than any trail I've ever been on. I don't know if I could say I like it more manicured, but it's definitely easier to navigate. Sometimes being out in the wild though, there's something to be said about that. But this place is great. Highly recommend it. I don't know what they did with this. Probably drove a side by side and graded the edges. Super weird. You didn't really think I was gonna leave my camera, did you? All right, now that's funny. Someone made an arrow out of rocks saying to go up that way. I don't even know what up that way is. All right, well that kind of sucks. It led me over here, and that's definitely not where I came from. So I'm gonna go back to that arrow and see if that's the direction. But as you can see, that's kind of where I was trying to get earlier this morning, and hopefully that's the direction, or maybe that's it. Maybe that's where I was trying to go. Not exactly sure. I'm gonna take that arrow and hopefully get back to camp here pretty soon.
One eternity later.
Oh, all right. Well, I made it back and not a moment too soon. I am starving. So, on the menu, we've got beef goulash, and I really hope it's as good as Rofe Aunt used to make it. So, we're gonna nibble on this. I've grabbed a piece of shade. Hopefully it keeps me a little cool because it really warmed up. I think it was like 38 this morning, and it's probably like 60, 65 right now. But after that, what was that, 8 to 10 miles? A lot of it just with the sun beating on me. Man, I'm starving and hot. Let's do this. Awesome. It is what it says it is. If you go back and watch a couple of my videos, I've opened these before, and it's not what's on the outside of the package. So we've got beef goulash here. This is applesauce, and I'm gonna keep that cool. Patriotic sugar cookies. Oh, this is chunky peanut butter. That's different. Bread, mini loaf sliced whole wheat, and then orange flavored no fruit juice. Strawberry jam, I guess, to put on my wheat bread. All right, while that thing's heating up, I'm gonna go ahead and have a go at the applesauce. They just have a little cutout right here. I guess they just want you to squeeze it into your face hole. Is that almost a green color? Green apples. Looks like applesauce, but I'll tell you what. This is probably the sweetest applesauce I've ever had. It was like candy. It's great, but what is that? 4 or 5 spoonfuls? That is a lot of packaging for however much I just horked down there. We'll go ahead and check out Patriotic sugar cookies too. I don't want to keep you guys waiting. It's a Liberty Bell. Not a super fan of sugar cookies. All right, let's check out the goulash. All right, well, if anything, it smells healthy. It's got a bunch of spinach and other stuff in here. It's got rice, beef, look like beans, spinach. I just got a big chunk of beef. I think it's like brisket or something. Wow. That is not bad at all. And when I'm ordering these things, I'm getting them for like $3 or $4 a piece. I may figure out a different way to heat these back up though. I mean, this isn't horrible, but like I said, some of it is just lukewarm. Like a piece of meat I'm still chewing on. Almost like beef jerky or something. It's got a good flavor. So it's like a tomato sauce in there too. That's the one thing I hate about as it starts to heat up when you're camping. Man, the flies. I've already had to kill a couple wasps. Got flies surrounding me. Let me finish this up. I got something else to show you guys. One thing to note if you're coming out here to Caprock Canyon, check this out. I have a red dust on literally everything. So that dirt is so fine, it's turned into powder. It's coming through my screen here, and literally I have it on everything. I've got it on my shoes, on my sleeping bag. I'm gonna have to figure out how to get all that off. So just something to be aware of if you end up coming out here.
Caprock doesn't ease you out gently. It leaves dust in your gear, heat in your lungs, and a reminder that this place has been here a lot longer than you have. I didn't stay as long as I planned. The sun had other ideas. But maybe that's the lesson out here. You show up, you experience what they give you, and you leave carrying a little bit of it with you. Since I didn't finish the trail, I'm sure I'll be back. If you like this type of content, make sure you check out our YouTube channel where we have hundreds of videos just like this. If you want to see our newest adventures, be sure to click the subscribe button and ring that bell so you never miss another video.